American Airlines emergency line. Please state your emergency.
The cockpit's not answering. Somebody's stabbed in business class. And I think there's mates that we can't breathe. I don't know. I think we're getting hijacked.
Somebody hit the World Trade Center or the...
It's a Trade Center.
The World Trade Center. There's a fire on the upper floors.
This just in, you were looking at obviously a very disturbing live shot there. That is the World Trade Center, and we have unconfirmed reports this morning
that a plane has crashed into the World Trade Center. We don't know anything more than that. We don't know if it was a commercial aircraft. We have no idea how many were on board or what the extent of the injuries are right now.
Jules, this is Ryan. Listen, on an airplane that's been hijacked, and things don't go well. It's not looking good. I just want you to know I absolutely love you. I want you to do good. So have a good time. And I just totally love you, and I'll see you later. Bye, babe. Bye-bye.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
That looks like a second plane.
Oh, there's another one. Another plane just hit. Right. Oh, my God. Another plane has just hit. It hit another building. Flew right into the middle of it.
Oh, my goodness, there's another one.
It seems to be on purpose.
Oh, my goodness. Now it's obvious, I think.
I leaned over and whispered into his right ear. A second plane hit the second tower. America is under attack.
Today we've had a national tragedy. Two airplanes have crashed into the World Trade Center in an apparent terrorist attack on our country.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We're looking at a live picture from Washington, and there is smoke pouring out of the Pentagon. It would appear that there has been another major explosion, this one in the nation's capital. There is smoke in the air over the Pentagon.
This is as close as we can get to the base of the World Trade Center. You can see the firemen assembled here, the police officers, FBI agents, and you can see the two towers. A huge explosion now, raining debris on all of us. We better get out of the way!
We're getting reports that a part of the tower, the second tower, the one a bit further to the south of us, has collapsed. We are checking on that.
United 93, that traffic for you is 1 o'clock, 12 miles eastbound 370.
Negative contact. We're looking at United 93.
When I took the call over, there was a soft-spoken, calm gentleman. I asked him his name. He told me Todd Beamer. He said, Lisa, would you recite the Lord's Prayer with me? He said, okay, let's roll.
We've got a report from a guy at 24 of a cloud of black smoke off his lap.
Wheelington 97.
But we don't have confirmation.
United Airlines flight number 93 left Newark at 8:01 this morning en route to San Francisco. It went down in Shanksville, Pennsylvania.
The North Tower. The North Tower. Oh my God, there it goes!
I hope I live. I hope I live. It's coming down on me.
And there's, you can see, perhaps the second tower, the front tower, the top portion of which is collapsing. Good Lord.
Both trade towers, where thousands of people work, on this day, Tuesday, have now been attacked and destroyed. There is simply no way to accurately describe the emotion this evokes.
I want you all to know that America today is on bended knee in prayer for the people whose
lives were lost here, for the workers who work here, for the families who mourn. This nation stands with the good people of New York City and New Jersey and Connecticut as we mourn the loss of thousands of our citizens. I can hear you. I can hear you. The rest of the world hears you. And the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us
soon. September 11 will go down in our history as a day to remember. None of us will ever forget the pictures of our courageous firefighters and police, many of whom have lost friends and colleagues, or the hundreds of people attending or standing patiently in line to donate blood. A tragedy like this could have torn our country apart, but instead it has united us. This event can give a message of hope, hope for the present and hope for the future. The cross tells us that God understands our sin and our suffering. And from the cross, God declares, I love you. The story does not end with the cross. For Easter points us beyond the tragedy of the cross to the empty tomb. It tells us that there is hope for eternal life, for Christ has conquered evil and death and hell. My prayer today is that we will feel the loving arms of God wrapped around us, and will know in our hearts that He will never forsake us as we trust in Him. And this is going to be a day that we will remember as a day of victory. May God bless you all.
Hello and welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining me. That never gets any easier. Never gets any easier. And some of the words I'm going to use in the next few minutes are going to be hard to hear. I'm sure they will offend some of you, but I think that is part of the reason we are where we are at today. No one would speak the truth, or very few people. And that is, that morning, the President of the United States should have went on worldwide television. Yes, worldwide television. And made it very clear. This man, Osama bin Laden, and his Al-Qaeda network came onto our airwaves and declared war, world war, upon the United States and their people. And as of this moment, I would have told the Taliban, whatever leaders in Afghanistan at that moment, said you have X number of hours, X number of days to turn this man and all of his crazies with him, turn them over to us. And if you miss that deadline, make no doubt about it, we're going to turn your entire country into glass. You've been harboring him. You've turned him into a folk hero. Now we're giving you every opportunity, again in the next X number of hours, X number of days, to turn this demon over, or we're going to turn you and anything living, your entire country, into glass. It's up to you, and make no doubt about it, we will do it. The sad thing is, the entire world that morning was holding its breath, waiting for our response. And we tucked our balls. That's right, we tucked our balls and didn't do a damn thing. Not a thing. I'm sorry. If you're a veteran out there, love you. We made commitments to you. We should honor those commitments and multiply it by 1,000. You did your jobs. Your leaders sold you out. I do not want any of you going to any other foreign battlefield, because these bastards are going to sell you out. They're always going to take the easy way. We're the most powerful nation on earth. Used to be the richest. And again, that morning, the entire world waited. The entire world held its breath. And we didn't follow through. We didn't follow through. Thank God for Harry Truman and leaders back then. They took no great pride. They didn't revel in the fact that they had to do what they had to do. They were interested in ending a war and saving American and Allied lives. So what did we do? I'll tell you what we did. I'm going to go to a split screen here. Here we go. Costs of the Afghanistan war in lives and dollars. Let's take a look. Maybe. There we go. Still working the kinks out, folks. And again, as I speak, I have nothing but love and respect in my heart for our servicemen and women. It's your leaders and our political leaders. Cost of the Afghanistan war in lives and dollars. Make sure we're up here in the mic here. Trying another new setup tonight, so we'll see how it goes. Here we go. This is from the AP, and this is a couple years old. I went to the Peace Institute and the actual Pentagon numbers and tried to find the middle ground. So here's the AP. We'll pull it up here as you see me scrolling. They had some good numbers. I know they're here. Maybe. Okay, well, I know this is the article. Okay, here we go. Sorry there, folks. Here we go. Scrolled right past it. I apologize. The human cost. American service members killed in Afghanistan through April through April. And this was from 2021. So American service members killed in Afghanistan through April were 2,448. The U.S. contractors, 3,846. Afghan national military and police, 66,000. Other Allied service members, including from other NATO member states, 1,144. Afghan civilians, 47,245. Taliban and other opposition fighters, 51,191. 444 aid workers. Think about that. That's the human toll. It says here, paying for a war on credit, not in cash. Let's see here. Estimated amount of direct Afghanistan and Iraq war costs that the United States has debt financed as of 2020 was $2 trillion. The estimated interest cost by 2050 will be up to $6.5 trillion. The wars in, the costs don't. amount estimated the United States committed to pay in health care, disability, burial, and other costs for roughly 4 million Afghan and Iraqi veterans. More than $2 trillion. We have to take care of these good folks. They went over there, they did their job, they did their duty. Again, you got sold out. Again, not one of you should ever put a boot on the ground over there, let alone Iraq. Again, give them X number of hours, X number of days. You either turn that demon over and all of his little demon buddies, or the whole effing place will be glass. Glass. And again, the world held its breath, and the world wouldn't have said a daggone thing if we had to do the unthinkable. Which I hate even saying the unthinkable. I believe in peace through strength. I don't want to spend any American lives, lose any American lives or any of our allies. We stand on the shoulders of giants, our current civilization. And they gave us all these amazing tools so we could stay safe and enforce the peace. And you can't have a bunch of guys in dresses and in effing shower shoes from the 7th century running around deciding, hey, this is how the world shall be today. Doesn't work like that, buddy. But I will paraphrase the great General Michael T. Flynn. Those are his words, not mine. You got your blank whipped by a bunch of guys in dresses and in shower shoes crawling around in caves. I don't care what all your woke generals say. That's what happened. We lost. We lost. Again, for all those brave servicemen and women, you did your duty, but you got sold out by a bunch of punks, that want to be toy soldiers. Ooh, look at me, I can march, ooh, yeah. Want everybody to slap them on their back and look at their ribbons, little medals. Say, hey, look at me, I'm a real warrior. Now you're a pussy. Because when it came down to it, you couldn't do what needed to be done. And you decided you would rather watch your men and women, our warriors, put into a meat grinder. Either came back in body bags, some of them came up missing legs, returned home burnt to a crisp. Never had to happen. President Bush was a commander-in-chief. He should have laid the law down and followed through, but he didn't do it. So you had 20 plus years of war. You let the Middle East, you let the Mideast on fire. Well, come on, let's be honest. It's always been on fire, but you didn't help the situation. And trying to remain as calm as possible, but sorry, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. And again, that's Michael T. Flynn. I don't want to put words in his mouth. He was a fighting man, intelligence officer, and I understand there's many ways to fight a war, but this is what I'm saying. This is one that should have been put on the table, followed through with. There's no need to put any men and women on the ground over there. You idiots, you demons wanted to declare war on us? And I'm not going to get into the tit for tat and the whataboutism. At the end of the day, it has to be. It must be. It's not that I don't want you parking in my driveway, or hey, I don't even want you parking in front of my house. I don't want you on my street. No. You're not even, forget the neighborhood. I don't even want you in my effing state. I don't want you here. And if you come around here, you've been warned, we will literally rip your head off. We will rip your face off. And we're not going to think twice about it. It's called peace through strength. It's not me trying to be a tough guy. There's plenty of those in the world. I've known some tough guys. I'm not one of them. I'm trying to be an advocate for you. Peace through strength. Let me tell you something. There's no reason for us to be, this whole thing in Ukraine, we're flirting with disaster. There should never be. First, we should have our best diplomats, the best diplomats in the world, trying to get these folks to sit down at a table. Blessed are the peacemakers. But no, the blood-soaked war machine the gears must keep moving. And when you have idiots, and yes, I mean idiots, try not to hit the microphone as much, folks, but I'm trying to still stay close so you can hear me. But what I was saying was idiots like Nikki Haley. Oh! Fred, did you know that we're fighting for our freedom? Yeah, they sold the American people on that bunk. The same effing... How stupid do you have to be? Really? Really? In Iraq, nobody was fighting for my freedom. That was the biggest crock. But what they did, they took advantage of a crisis and played on everyone's emotions. Just because you understand something doesn't mean you approve of it. But the same thing, Fred and I talk about this all the time. This thing in Ukraine, it's disgusting. And they are going to keep pouring money in and selling their weapons until the last Ukrainian is blown apart and maybe not even put in the ground. That's just the way it is. And we have to stop it. Where's the left? Where's Code Pink? Where are all these peace institutes? Where are all the movies? The TV set? Well, they're on strike. But even before they went on strike, where's all the Hollywood modern liberals? Because let me tell you, if it was a Republican or a conservative, a neocon, whoever, someone they perceived was from the other side of the aisle, it would be a never-ending onslaught. But since Joe Biden is laying in bed with them and probably showering with his daughter, allegedly. Hey, it's all okay. We're going to keep our mouth shut. Be good little bitches. It's disgusting. These people are a sham. They are a sham. They are a joke. The war in Ukraine. Give me a break. No one's fighting for my freedom. Here's another pet peeve. Here's another one. I love me some Steve Bannon, excuse me. Dr. Peter Navarro. I watch the War Room about every day. Probably more than I should. But I don't want any of you. Steve Bannon made the point a few weeks ago that we will probably lose if this thing goes kinetic in the Taiwan Straits. But you better be ready. They're going to put part of the 7th Fleet at the bottom of the Taiwan Straits. Why are we even... Hey, and I don't want to hear and I love Mark Levin. I put him in my first video. Mark, I do. I've read your books. I've listened to your radio show. I watch your TV shows. But you're just wrong on this one, buddy. You're just wrong. We cannot have... And he talks about the Reagan Doctrine. Yeah, that was peace through strength. When they blew up our Marine barracks over in Beirut, he was smart enough to say, you know what, I'm out of here. This is what this gets. Look, that's a whole series of 7 shows there. So that's a whole boy. I watched a former Marine commandant on C-SPAN a couple of years ago, and he spoke. He said, we still have a blood debt. And my understanding is when they blew our Marines up over in Beirut, to this day it's still the largest non-nuclear blast that was recorded or registered. Now, I didn't do my due diligence, but the point being, back to what I was saying earlier. We had no bit. We shouldn't be putting, even if it's part of a peace mission. Those young men should have never been there. Should have never been there. And the great President Ronald Wilson Reagan said that was the greatest mistake of his 8 years as president. And I would agree, sir. But he learned from it. He learned from it. But yeah, no more money. No more money for Ukraine. That's gone. That's done. Fred, you still with me? I love you, buddy. Yeah, you just can't. But you got these blood-soaked demons like Nikki Haley talking about freedom. Again, to finish up what I was saying a moment ago. Sorry, I get all ranty and But yeah, Russia's, again, I said this the other night, Russia's not coming over here. We don't have to resurrect the great Patrick Swayze. Roadhouse, one of the greatest movies. Point Break, are you kidding me? I was watching that the other night. Mrs. Davis is like, really, again? I love that movie, but yeah, we don't have to resurrect Patrick Swayze, to lead the Wolverines here, because the Russians aren't invading. In the remake of that movie, they tried to show, it's going to be the Chinese aren't coming over here. Lao Beijing, huh? The good folks. The good folks. And I want to make it clear. Two things. I love the Chinese people. I've been to China. Good people. Their government sucks. It's an authoritarian regime. They're a bunch of gangsters. Russia, the Russian people, they should be our natural allies. I said years ago, you can ask any of my family and friends, probably they'd say, yeah, that guy never shuts up. Hey, that's a whole nother story. But yeah, I said at the fall, when the Soviet Union crumbled, we should have went in with a Marshall Plan. A new modern Marshall Plan. Said, what do you need? We're here. We love you. It's over. We want to help you get back on your feet. You're an amazing people. You have an amazing history. I mean, let's be honest. They're the ones who took the brunt of the Nazis in World War II. The millions of people that were killed in the Bloodlands. Come on. The Russians, it's like this thing with Ukraine. The Russians, they're tough as nails. We like to think we are, but let me tell you, they are tough. And they will not quit. They're going to keep churning and churning and churning and churning. Those people know how to fight. It's no disrespect to our warriors or any of our allies. But again, the Russian people should be they should be our natural ally. This is just crazy. It's their government. It's not the Russian people. Just like the Chinese people. It's their government. But again, I don't want anybody going and dying in the Straits of Taiwan. No one. Now, I know Vivek has made some comments in the last 2 or 3 weeks that, hey, he wants to completely decouple. That's great. I would too. But what do you do about Taiwan? What do you do? It's very, very tricky. Again, and the last thing we need is to keep escalating and escalating. And I'm one of those people that believe the Chinese Communist Party, the People's Liberation Army, are looking at Joe Biden going, this guy, forget not talking, this guy, I think he pooped his pants the other day in Vietnam. They have no respect for our leadership and our leaders. And they just see Joe Biden as a joke. You can say whatever you want to about President Trump, but they weren't going to mess with him. And I hope and pray they don't go, okay, look, it looks like Trump may get back in there. If we're going kinetic, now's the time to do it while the crazy old poopy pants hair sniffing guy's in there. Let's go. Not trying to make light of the situation because it is dire. But again, the Chinese Don't buy into the fear-mongering. They're not going to come over here. There's not a Chinese guy under your bed going to pop out of your closet. Now, if Mrs. Davis isn't listening, if a few, 22, 23-year-old Chinese cheerleaders happen to jump out of my closet, I would behave myself and make it very clear that I hope to goodness they would not overpower me in their little Chinese cheerleading outfits. And yeah, because what could I do? Fred, what could I do, really? I mean, think about it. I'm not a strong man. You get a couple 20-year-old Chinese cheerleaders, I'd be done for. Yeah, I'm just telling Mrs. Davis, please don't let this happen. But anyway, trying to lighten it up a little bit, folks, from the old, I know we had a really dark start there, but I think it's important to remember. It is so important to remember, because these blood-soaked demons are going to lead us down the same path. That's my fear. And another point before I wrap this up. I have nieces and nephews, and a few years ago, I was around some young folks, and it was not the anniversary of 9/11, and they were looking at stuff on their phones, and I realized there was 3 or 4 of them that they weren't even born. Or they had, they may have been born, but they had no living memory. And it's just, the one young man said, yeah, I've seen those videos, and I listened to my mom and dad talk. I guess it was really horrible, huh? And you're like, it's been 22 years now. But I think we'll move along. I think I made my point. Maybe I didn't. Maybe you're already tuned out, and maybe you're looking under your bed or in your closet for some young Chinese cheerleaders. And if you are, I wish you luck, because I don't know if my heart could take that. Mrs. Davis, I love you, baby. I'm just joking. All right, so let's do this. You can't see what I'm doing over here, sneaking around. But I was going to, what was I going to do? There was the, see, I got to remember now, when I look this way, I can pull the microphone back, but let's see. Okay. So, as we move along here, I guess one of the big news stories of the day was the impeachment. Old Kevin McCarthy has said, you know what? I think I'm going to back up and pause there. I'm going to I think I got some new graphics. I think I'm going to use my new graphics right here. Let's try it. Going to have a new segue. Try to make it look more official. What do you guys think? Huh? Okay. See, look, I keep trying to measure the micro. They say that's like a good distance for the microphone, but sometimes I can't hear it. Some of you say you can't hear me. Other times you say I'm too loud, so trying to do the old Goldilocks there. Woo! But yeah, Kevin McCarthy. Oh, yeah, I just said before we go on to the next story, let's do it. You ready? You want to try this? All right, Fred. Fred, let's try the new graphic. All right, let's go to the next story. Go! Okay, the next story we're going to go through is the impeachment of Kevin McCarthy. And let's see here. I guess I should also be looking to see. Okay, we're good on time. Yeah. So let's look. I guess we'll start with old Matt Gaetz down there from Florida. Let's drag this over here. I guess he laid the law down earlier today.
On this very...
Okay. Let's get this ready. This is, I like old Matt Gaetz. Guys, hey, he's a fighter. We need fighters. All right, folks. Again, this is Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz talking about holding Kevin McCarthy's feet to the fire and the impeachment of the creepy old Joe Biden. Here we go. Matt, take us away. Okay, let's try it one more time. Boy, you know.
On this very floor in January, the whole world witnessed a historic contest for House Speaker. I rise today to serve notice. Mr. Speaker, you are out of compliance with the agreement that allowed you to assume this role. The path forward for the House of Representatives is to either bring you into immediate total compliance or remove you pursuant to a motion to vacate the chair. We have had no vote on term limits or on balanced budgets as the agreement demanded and required. There's been no full release of the January 6 tapes as you promised. There has been insufficient accountability for the Biden crime family. And instead of cutting spending to raise the debt limit, you relied on budgetary gimmicks and rescissions so that you ultimately ended up serving as the valet to underwrite Biden's debt and advance his spending agenda. Mr. Speaker, you boasted in January that we would use the power of the subpoena and the power of the purse. But here we are, 8 months later, and we haven't even sent the first subpoena to Hunter Biden. That's how you know that the rushed and somewhat rattled performance you just saw from the Speaker isn't real. At this point, during Democrat control over the House of Representatives, they had already brought in Don Jr. 3 times. And we haven't even sent the first subpoena to Hunter Biden. Power of the subpoena and power of the purse. Only thing the 118th Congress is known for at this point is electing Kevin McCarthy Speaker and underwriting Biden's debt. And unfortunately, there's only one of those things we can remediate at this time. Power of the purse. Our leadership...
Get him, Matt. He's absolutely right. Again, I've already said like 43 times. We are playing Pee-wee, and these guys are in the NFL. These guys are playing for keeps. I saw John Fetterman, if you've seen the clip. Really? That guy should be making fun of somebody? But anyway, I hope he's getting better, but hey, guy, come on, man. You might want to reel that in. Look it up. They asked him, hey, have you heard they're going to impeach Biden? And his reaction, I was going to show it in here, but I'm like, okay, whatever. But anyway, Matt, go.
Right now is asking us to vote for a continuing resolution. A vote for a continuing resolution is a vote to continue the Green New Deal, a vote to continue inflationary spending, and in the most troubling of fashions, a vote for a continuing resolution is a vote to continue the election interference of Jack Smith. Mr. Speaker, we told you how to use the power of the purse. Individual, single subject spending bills that would allow us to have specific review, programmatic analysis, and that would allow us to zero out the salaries of the bureaucrats who have broken bad, targeted President Trump, or cut sweetheart deals for Hunter.
Because, baby, it always comes down to the greenbacks. It's as old can be. Follow the money. You cut these idiots' money off, it's like cutting their knees off from underneath them. Defund them. Cut that money. You got to cut it. Cut it. Okay, that was a little much, but all right, Matt, let's go.
Mr. Biden. September 30th is rapidly approaching, and you have not put us in a position to succeed. There is no way to pass all the individual appropriations bills now, and it's not like we didn't know when September 30th was going to show up on the calendar. I must be better, you must be better, and this House must be better, for it is the last best hope for tens of millions of Republicans. We demand real oversight against this weaponized government. Just look at the bribery. If tens of millions of dollars flowing from foreign corrupt people into the bank accounts of the Biden family wasn't enough for actual impeachment, why were we even looking? Joe Biden deserves impeachment for converting the vice presidency into an ATM machine for virtually his entire family. We all see it. We all know it. Now, moments ago, Speaker McCarthy endorsed an impeachment inquiry. This is a baby step following weeks of pressure from House conservatives.
When I heard that, I thought about the movie What About Bob? Richard Dreyfuss and Bill Murray. Baby step, baby step, baby step. Okay. I guess they've all but canceled Bill Murray and Richard Dreyfuss. Wow. Okay, forget I brought that movie up. But anyway. Matt, let's do it.
To do more. We must move faster. Now, I will concede that the votes I have called for will likely fail: term limits, balanced budgets, maybe even impeachment. I am prepared for that eventuality, because at least if we take votes, the American people get to see who's fighting for them and who's willing to tolerate more corruption and business as usual. Mr. Speaker, dust off our written January agreement. You have a copy. Reflect on the spirit of that agreement and build on the start that we had moments ago. Begin to comply. No continuing resolutions, individual spending bills or bust, votes on balanced budgets and term limits, subpoenas for Hunter Biden and the members of the Biden family who've been grifting off of this country, and the impeachment for Joe Biden that he so richly deserves. Do these things or face a motion to vacate the chair. And let me alert the country.
Uh-oh. If you Kevin McCarthy, woo, come on now. Come on, Matt, let's get you some. Let's get some, Matt. Hey, I've said it once. I'll say it 400 times. We're getting ready to go Steven Crowder on Joe Biden. We're going full Crowder. Full Crowder. If he speaks up, you know what we're going to say? Watch it. Watch it. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. I'm getting really excited. This whole impeachment thing. Hey. Okay, calm down. All right, Matt. Brother Matt, let's roll.
A motion to vacate might not pass at first, but it might before the 15th vote. And if Democrats bail out McCarthy, as they may do, then I will lead the resistance to this uniparty and the Biden, McCarthy, Jeffries government that they are attempting to build. I know that Washington is...
That's right, Matt. The uniparty, modern liberalism. It is a mental disorder, and it must be destroyed. I said in an earlier video, I was actually going to sign off every night, just like Cato did. Modern liberalism must be destroyed. Carthage must be destroyed. You always got to add, though, the ballot box, because I don't need the FBI kicking down my door, finding all my cocaine. I'm just kidding. Okay. Yeah. There we have it. Breathing a little fire. Huh? Let's see if we can't get this pulled up a little bit. Can you still see my beautiful visage? Is that a problem for everybody? If I kind of... Oh, yeah. Oh. Hey, let's check it out. What do you think here? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, baby. I conditioned earlier today. You can't really tell, can you? It just really bothered me the other night when a guy kept accusing me of wearing a wig. Hey, put a lot of effort into this wig. I'll give you a wig. Hey, buddy, is that your face or did your neck puke? Yeah, what do you think about that? Okay, we're moving on. All right, so let's take a look at, I think it's only fair, Mr. Gates going after Speaker McCarthy. Speaker McCarthy, what do you have to say? Let's go.
You know, in the months that we were gone and the weeks, House Republicans have uncovered serious and credible allegations into President Biden's conduct. Taken together, these allegations paint a picture of a culture of corruption. Now, here's what we know so far. Through our investigations, we have found that President Biden did lie to the American people about his own knowledge of his family's foreign business dealings. Eyewitnesses have testified that the president joined on multiple phone calls and had multiple interactions, dinners resulted in cars and millions of dollars into his son's and his son's business partner.
I'm going to be honest. I don't know if some of this is true because as much hair sniffing as Joe Biden does, I don't know how he's got time to do anything else. I joke. I just joke. But seriously, between the hair sniffing and the showering with his daughter, allegedly, Fred, remember, allegedly. All right, Speaker McCarthy, let's go.
We know that bank records show that nearly $20 million in payments were directed to the Biden family members and associates through various shell companies. The Treasury Department alone has more than 150 transactions involving the Biden family and other business associates that were flagged as suspicious activity by U.S. banks. Even a trusted FBI informant has alleged a bribe to the Biden family. Biden used his official office to coordinate with Hunter Biden's business partners about Hunter's role.
What? Yeah, like this is a shock. Hey, Joe Biden's... And here's the thing. There's saying some of these Nancy Mays. Lord Almighty. Lord help me. That is one attractive woman. But yeah, she, you can't tell I got a little thing for Nancy Mace there, but nothing compared to my wife. But yeah, she said, I know, look, one day she was on the War Room. She's like, yeah, it's probably like 25 million. She's on a couple days later. Steve, I think it's in excess of $50 million. I mean, there's a lot. Now he's saying not maybe but over 150 reports that were flagged. What I'm getting at, though, this has been going on for years. And I think that's why some of these folks are fighting this. Because there's so many proverbial hands in the proverbial cookie jar. Man, that sounds good. Fred, go get me a Mounds. I know it's not a cookie. Lord, I got to eat something. I'm about ready to pass out. All right, Speaker McCarthy, let's go.
In Burisma, a Ukrainian energy company. Finally, despite these serious allegations, it appears that the president's family has been offered special treatment by Biden's own administration. Treatment that not otherwise would have received if they were not related to the president. These are allegations of abuse of power, obstruction, and corruption, and they warrant further investigation by the House of Representatives. That's why today I am directing our House committee to open a formal impeachment inquiry into President Joe Biden. This logical next step will give our committees the full power to gather all the facts and answers for the American public. That's exactly.
Oh, we gonna get some facts. We gonna crawl up in some of them fucking facts, ain't we, Fred? Oh, I'm telling you, we're gonna crowd her. We're gonna crowd her, that mother. It's gonna happen. Woo, Lord Almighty. Okay, here we go. Finish this up, Speaker McCarthy. Let's rock.
Exactly what we want to know. The answers. I believe the president would want to answer these questions and allegations as well. This effort will be led by Chairman James Comer at the Committee on Oversight in coordination with Chairman Jim Jordan for Judiciary Committee and Chairman Jason Smith on Ways and Means. Now, I do not make this decision lightly. And regardless of your party or who you voted for, these facts should concern all Americans. The American people deserve to know that the public offices are not for sale, and that the federal government is not being used to cover up the actions of a politically associated family. Now,
No. Forget just the United States, Mr. Speaker. I don't think that's ever happened in the history of politics. This he's better than me. Okay, he's not that good, but all right, Speaker McCarthy, I'll let you be. Let's do it.
I would encourage the president and his team to fully cooperate with this investigation in the interests of transparency. We are committed to getting the answers for the American public. Nothing more, nothing less. We will go wherever the evidence takes us.
I'll tell you what, Fred, right now, I hope it takes me to a candy shop, because if you don't go get me something to eat, I'm going to fucking die, man. Seriously, dude, I've got it. Hell, you sleep half the time. I know. I don't want to make this an HR issue, so I'm asking you politely, just like something. My stomach is actually sucking up against my spine, so just something. Just give me, okay, there you go. Appreciate it. Thank you, sir. All right. So that was Speaker McCarthy. And let's see here. Okay, there he goes. So we're not done with the old impeachment yet. So I thought, hey, to be fair, let's see what Dana Bash and the rest of the communists over at the Communist News Network have to say. Let's go.
Nothing. I mentioned the heart of the impeachment inquiry is about Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. This is not about since Joe Biden has been president of the United States. This is pre that.
Yeah.
And so another question is whether that's even a thing. Can you impeach somebody, a president, for something that didn't allegedly occur when he was president?
Well, I mean, it seems like that's what we're about to find out.
Yeah.
I mean, you can look, when you talk about lying to the American public, I mean, during when President Trump was in office.
Yes, because President Trump was treated so fair. Let's see, I do believe I remember they impeached, let's see, President Trump twice and once. When he wasn't even president, you jerks! Modern liberalism is a mental disorder. Try not to blow the mic out. Oh my jeez. These people have no shame. You know why? Because they're demons. All they know is power. I'm telling you, modern liberalism must be destroyed at the ballot box. At the ballot box. Hey, yeah, I'm pointing at you. The guy that's sitting there, put the Xbox controller down, bro. Well, no, don't take it off this channel, but hey, do what you want to do. I'm a freedom guy. All right, here we go. Let's listen to some more of the communist chatter. Go.
The Stormy Daniels thing came up, and he said he didn't know anything about the payments, and turns out that wasn't true. But
Okay, first of all, I got to say something about the Stormy Daniels. If President Trump was married at the time, that's wrong. I don't believe in that at all. But hey, man, Stormy Daniels in her day, boom, chicka, wow, wow. Hey, I'm just being honest with you. I'd like to party. Do you kids still say that today? But anyway, yeah, come on, man. You can't be. Don't be a dirtbag. Don't be cheating on your wife now. All right, here we go. Communist News Network, roll it.
he wasn't impeached for that, right? Like this idea that things that you did before you were even president are now impeachable. I think at this point, impeachment has just become a political tool. It is something you do against the opposite party and not something that really has much meaning.
As you're talking, I mean,
they're just discovering this. They're just discovering this, right? Yeah, they're just, oh, I got the vapors. I'm so shocked. I can't believe that. What is this impeachment thing? Harold, please.
Answering my own question, which is you can impeach for anything you want as long as you can get the votes for it, right?
Right, because it is a political tool.
It's how you. It's how people.
But I would just note down, Kevin McCarthy, when he announced it, did at the end say, and finally there are serious allegations that Biden's family has been offered special treatment from the Biden administration. Okay. So he did tie something in there at the end. But you are right. The bulk of the actions being discussed are Biden's time as vice president.
And given how divided the.
All right. So there you go. What a bunch of that just, yeah. So remember.
Nothing. I mentioned the heart of the impeachment.
Fred's gone. So let's see here. Ready? Let's see here. I was going to say, yeah, I seem to, wait. You want to talk about a weasel, a demon. Here you go. Nicole Wallace go.
My question for you is, without...
Now, I like the Chiron. McCarthy, impeachment inquiry? Logical next step? What's great is, I'll just let's play the clip, and then I want to go get in the old time machine. We'll get in the old time machine, and let's just take a little walk. All right, here we go. Nicole Wallace, the Weasel. Let's go. Weasel Wallace.
Without any of these Republicans willing to stand up to McCarthy and pump the brakes, what do you think happens next?
Well, I think we're going to see this clown car at center stage. Look, I mean, if they have the goods, all well and good, but they clearly don't. To the congressman's point, this was craven, it was cynical, it is pandering, but you understand why they're doing it. I mean, we're now finding out that Donald Trump talked with, met privately with House leaders and told them that he wanted them to do this because, to speak pure Steve Bannon, the goal here is to flood the zone with shit, to devalue impeachments by making sure that everybody is impeached. But
in my day we called that what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Hey, bunch of big weenies. Trying to watch my language here. God, these people. It's like they just woke up today. But I would love to be the person who shows Steve Bannon this clip. He's gonna be like, "That's right, mother. That's right, mother." Heck yeah, man. You picked this fight. I went to school with a guy like this. He'd be like, "Hey, Sammy." He'd coax you into a fight, and then when it all break loose, you'd turn around, you're getting your face kicked in, and your jaw spun and rotated. And he literally would see him, I'm not kidding, running away. He'd be running away. That's what this reminds me of. But anyway, MSNBC, you whack jobs, go.
I think what's going to be on display is the no there there. And I think that this is what you're hearing from Republicans. If you're going to do this, if you're going to make the Congress hostage to this agenda, if we're going to spend the time debating whether or not we remove the speaker, impeach the president, shut down the government, defund the Department of Justice, defund special prosecutors, block the military from making up promotions, we ought to be able to explain to the American people why this is a good idea. But Kevin McCarthy, who engaged in that rather dramatic act of self-gelding, made this promise, and now he has to follow through, even if it means, as the congressman noted, reversing the position he held 10 days ago when he said that he would have a vote of Congress to begin this inquiry. So this is we're about to go into a very, very messy month. This is going to be Kevin McCarthy's month from hell. Unfortunately, he appears willing to drag the rest of the country with him.
Yes, because it's just been so orderly up till this point. Again, I'm not threatening anyone because that's just stupid. But I'm just saying, if I was writing a screenplay, okay, if I was just writing a screenplay about a scene where someone like me would take that guy's own left shoe and beat him to death with it, you could see that playing out on the screen. Everybody calm down. I'm just saying, geez, calm down. Don't want to hurt the guy. I don't even know the man, but again, modern liberalism, it is a mental disorder. These people, wow. Now, to be fair, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should go back in my time machine. You ready?
And when you're
Remember this, Jim? Yeah, because she's impartial.
son looks at you and says, "Mama, look, you won." Bullies don't win. And I said, "Baby, they don't. Because we're going to go in there and we're going to impeach the mother."
Yeah. Oh, I guess you forgot about that one. Well, thank goodness. Thank goodness, Rashid Tlaib, she was the only one, right? I mean, because the best of my memory, remember, I'm going to be honest, I didn't even remember that. Let's see, there wasn't anyone else,
I don't
was there?
respect this president. I don't trust this president. He's not working in the best interest of the American people. His motives and his actions are contemptible, and I will fight every day.
Contemptible. I don't even know what that is. I know what contemptible is, but hey, I'm the last one that's going to start making fun of someone's speech, trust me. I want to make sure we're still rolling here. And we are. Here we go. Maxine, you crazy wig-wearing woman. Let's go. Try it one more time, Maxine. Let's do it.
Until he is impeached. Impeach 45.
That's right, impeach 45.
Impeach 45.
Impeach 45.
Impeach 45.
Impeach 45. Impeach 45.
Don't forget who he is. He's shown us what kind of human being he is, and he is not going to change. Ladies and gentlemen, my millennials, stay woke. Thank you. Go ahead, impeach 45.
Can I get one more? I said impeach 45. Impeach 45. One more over here. Impeach 45. Yeah. They must think that we're not aware of videotape or I guess digital media now. It's people. Unbelievable. And how about this classic? You ready for this one? Remember this one? Oh, I do.
Woman Maxine Waters yesterday after she called on supporters to harass Trump administration officials.
If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome.
The president responded via tweet. Congresswoman Maxine Waters, an extraordinarily low IQ person, has become, together with Nancy Pelosi, the face of the Democrat Party. She has just called for harm to supporters, of which there are many.
That is so, I love Trump. Trump's great. Is an extraordinarily low IQ person. But you know what I'd say to President Trump? Impeach 45! Impeach 45! Wow, what a bunch of whack jobs. Again, we're aware of videotape or recording media. Let's just do it that way. Oh my jeez. So what do you think, folks?
The Make America Great Again movement. Be careful what you wish for, Max.
There you go. Maybe not. Oh, the whole screen went away, didn't it? Let's see if we can't get it back up there. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Okay. Probably I'm showing all my dirty bookmarks and stuff. I don't have any, though. That's Fred. This is Fred's computer I'm using, so. All right, so that was probably the biggest political story. That or, of course, this just, you ready? I guess President Biden cut a deal with the old Iranians. Let's take a look.
So the Biden administration today is defending their controversial prisoner swap with Iran after it started to unfreeze $6 billion of the regime's money. It's part of the deal. 5 American prisoners will be able to come home in exchange for 5 Iranians who were jailed here in the United States. The State Department insists that Iran will only be allowed to use those funds for humanitarian needs.
The criteria is that these funds, when they're deposited in these accounts, can only be spent for...
Is it just me, or is like Martha McCallum? Wow. Special place. Okay, Martha, take us away.
For humanitarian purposes. So the purchase of food, the purchase of medicine, the purchase of other humanitarian products. The Treasury Department has strict oversight over the use of those funds.
But the Iranian president telling NBC in an interview that will air tonight that Tehran will use the money, quote, wherever they need it.
This money belongs to the Islamic Republic of Iran, and naturally, we will decide, the Islamic Republic of Iran will decide to spend it wherever we need it. How to spend our money, of course, it is under the authority of the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Let's bring in John Kirby, National Security Council Coordinator for Strategic Communications. John, good to have you here. Thank you, as always, for joining us.
Kirby. Camera's here, buddy. Wow. Yeah, I'll eat it here in a minute, man. We'll be wrapped. Hey, calm down. Don't rush everything. Hey, come on. Fred's trying to pawn his, is that a Mounds? It's a Mounds bar. I love me some coconut. Yeah, Kirby's a weasel. And I may use that word a lot, but this guy is a genuine USDA stamped approved weasel. This guy is right out of the Politburo. Or as the great Jim Kelly would say, man, you are straight out of a comic book. Suddenly I'd like to leave your island, Mr. Handman. Okay. I'll watch Enter the Dragon again for like the 4th time this week. All right, Martha, you lovely little vixen, let's go.
So what do you say to those who say, we got 5 people back, they got 5 people back, plus we unfroze $6 billion? How is that an even exchange?
Well, the first thing I'd say is we're going to get 5 people back. 5 Americans that will be able to come home, be with their families where they belong, and get them out of that evil Evan prison. That's the main goal here. And sometimes when you're going for that, and Americans need to know that we're going to continue to look out for them over there, it means you got to make some tough decisions. It means you got to make some negotiations and you got to make some compromises. And this is what it took to get these 5 Americans.
I'm sorry, I just cannot. I can barely listen to this guy talk. He is such a weasel. Let's go.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound like a very good negotiation. Wouldn't 5 for 5 be a good negotiation?
Martha, we're getting 5 Americans home, and I think that's the important thing that everybody needs to remember. And I want to go back on, what Matt Miller at the State Department said. It's not just $6 billion that Iranians are just going to be able to write checks to whenever they want. Matt was right. They can only use this money for humanitarian purposes, and we will have the ability to stop transactions if we don't think they're going in the right direction.
Well, the president of Iran doesn't think that. You just heard him. He said, we'll use that money however we want.
Yeah, he's wrong. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. He's just wrong. That's not the way the deal has been structured, and that's not the way these funds are going to get dispersed.
Well, it seems like they got the better end of the deal with 5 people and $6 billion.
I don't think the 5 families that are getting these Americans back home would agree with you on that.
Nobody begrudges them that, John. Obviously, we're glad those people are coming home. I'm just not sure why. If I'm on the other side of a deal where I got 5 people back and I got released $6 billion that I can now use, I'm thinking, why don't I just take some more people? Because then I could probably get even more money released.
There you go. There you go. And is she speaking? Because if she's going to take somebody, she could take me. I'm an old, weak man. She could. Again, Mrs. Davis, calm down. Martha, I'm at 55 Elm Street. Okay, let's go, you little vixen.
Well, we obviously don't encourage people to travel to Iran. That's not a good place for Americans to be. But if you go to a place like that, and if you get wrongfully detained, you need to know that this administration, this government's going to do what we have to do to get you home. And again, we're getting 5 Americans home, and I think that's the important thing to remember. And this money is not a blank check. It's not going to go to the mullahs. It's not going to go to the regime. It's going to go to the Iranian people, who I think we all can agree.
Okay, I don't know what this guy's smoking, but get me a couple truckloads of it. Oh my jeez, this guy's delusional. I told you, oh my jeez. Really? It's going to go to the Iranian people. Okay, all right. Thank you, Kirby. Thank you.
We don't have a beef with.
Well, I'm sure everybody hopes that the money will be controlled the way that you say. There was a Navy SEAL on earlier today who basically said that everywhere he fought for the United States, all over the Middle East, he said we confronted vicious Iranian weapons. And he said you can bet that we're going to confront them more with this money released. John, what do you say to that?
Look, the money can only be used for humanitarian purposes, but I get the argument. People are saying, well, if they got this extra money that they can put to food and medicine, they can apply other funds to weapons.
Well, of course, hey, we can trust the Iranian regime. That's one thing you can take to the bank. Yeah. What's that? I said you can take it to the bank. Exactly. Exactly. All right. God, I can't believe I almost made it through this whole clip. Let's finish it up. We always finish what we start. You goon, Kirby. Let's go.
We continue to hold Iran accountable for all their destabilizing activities, Martha, whether it's support to terrorism, sending drones to Russia, attacking ships in the Persian Gulf. We do it through economic means, through sanctions. We won't hesitate to levy more sanctions if needed. And we've already just recently increased our military capacity in the Gulf itself to protect against maritime shipping attacks. So we're not turning a blind eye to anything that Iran's doing in the region and around the world, and we're going to continue to put pressure on them appropriately.
All right.
Okay, Lord, I can't believe I made it through that clip. Man, that guy.
So the Biden administration.
Okay, calm down there, Martha. So, you've heard one side of it. So to be fair, this isn't very long. Let's go.
It's been years of quiet negotiations in the Biden administration trying to bring these 5 Americans home. And earlier this summer, a deal was made that moved them to house arrest in exchange for $6 billion that would go to Iran to be used specifically for humanitarian aid, things like food, medicine, medical and agricultural equipment. At least that was the parameter that the White House was very clear on. And now we're hearing critically from Iranian President Raisi, who sat down with our own Lester Holt about how this money might be used, and that is sparking a lot.
Now remember what Kirby just said. They alluded to these comments, but let's hear it from the old one of the old Iranian boss men. Let's go.
Of conversation. Here's a little bit of that exchange, which we'll talk about on the other side. And we should note Raisi was communicating through a translator. Take a listen.
What is your expectation of its use? We're told that it's for humanitarian purposes, food and medicine. Do you believe you have the right to use that money in any way that you see fit?
This money belongs to the Islamic Republic of Iran, and naturally, we will decide, the Islamic Republic of Iran will decide to spend it wherever we need it. How to spend our money, of course, it is under the authority of the Islamic Republic of Iran.
So if I hear you clearly, that it will be used for more than humanitarian purposes in your view?
Humanitarian means whatever the Iranian people needs. So this money will be budgeted for those needs. And the needs of the Iranian people will be decided and determined by the Iranian government.
It's been.
So basically what he just said is, Kirby, eat my shorts. I mean, that's what he really said, is eat my shorts, buddy. I don't have to listen to you. All right. So, folks, we're going to shift gears here. Now, either this was one of the more disturbing, wow, either one, I got to eat that Mounds bar. My blood sugar is dropping. Either this next story, oh, yeah, that's right. Fred just hollered in my ear to use the new transitions. So, all right. So we're going to go to the next story, all right? I gotta get used to doing this. Fred, thanks for reminding me. All right, let's try it again. All right, here's the next story. Go. All right, you should see a big fancy graphic up there. If you don't, Fred's not doing his job. But anywho, let's see here. Yeah, I was saying, so the next story here is Senator Kennedy from, oh my geez. Either this is one of the funniest clips and stories I've seen in a while, or it may be absolutely one of the most disturbing. So, let's get it over here. You ready for this? Ay. Here we go.
I confess I'm a little confused, and I appreciate the argument or discussion that we've been having, but for me, it's a little too conceptual or, I don't know, metaphysical.
And don't worry, I'm not going to play the whole 7-minute clip, but trust me, you'll be disturbed. Or you'll laugh. Or laugh and be disturbed. Or you'll disturb yourself laughing. Anyway, let's go. Senator Kennedy.
Or theological or whatever you want to call it. I want to try to understand what you're asking us to do. Let's take 2 books that have been much discussed. The first one is called All Boys Aren't Blue. And I will quote from it.
You never want to hear that, let alone in a Senate hearing. But, all right, put the kids to bed. Wait, that was really a poor choice of words, wasn't it? All right, Fred, let's go.
I put some lube on and got him on his knees, and I began to slide into him from behind. I pulled out of him and kissed him while he masturbated. He asked me to turn over while he slipped a condom on himself. This was my ass, and I was struggling to imagine someone inside me. He got on top and slowly inserted himself into me. It was the worst pain I think I have ever felt in my life. Eventually, I felt a mix of pleasure with the pain. Close quote. All boys aren't blue. The second is a...
Now, when they show the panelists, the people there that were there to test, or the individuals that were present to testify for the senators, this one lady is busting, like she's doing everything she can. I mean, anything and everything she can to hold it together. It's hilarious. The sad thing is, that's how sick this world has become. Here we go. Senator Kennedy.
Another much discussed book. I'm sure you're familiar with it. It's called Genderqueer. Okay? Let me read an excerpt from that. Quote, I got a new strap-on harness today. I can't wait to put it on you. It will fit my favorite dildo perfectly. You're going to look so hot. I can't wait to have your cock in my mouth. I'm going to give you the blowjob of your life.
How many millions, and I mean millions, of times will that be cut out? Oh, Senator Kennedy, what have you done? Let's go.
Then I want you inside of me. End quote. Now, Mr. Secretary, what are you asking us to do? Are you suggesting that only...
Well, I'm hoping he's not asking you to do any of that. I kid you, John. I kid you, Senator Kennedy. I love this guy, though. From my understanding is, he went to Oxford. I love it. Let's go.
Librarians should decide whether the 2 books that I just referenced.
Okay, I'm trying to see her name, but it's the lady in the dark hair and the white coat. The lady with the dark hair and the white coat. She was just busted. Look, she's still she's biting her lip trying to keep it together. Oh my geez, that's so awesome. You know what? I love C-SPAN. I'm a C-SPAN junkie, but hey, I might have to start tuning into C-SPAN 3. Mrs. Davis goes on vacation. Okay, sorry about that. Let's go.
Should be available to kids? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Okay. Tell me what you're saying.
And just for everybody at home, relax. I wasn't talking. it was a joke. Okay, let's just move on because there's nothing good going to come of this. Here we go.
Well, first of all, there's this.
Don't give me a speech. Tell me what you're asking me to do.
With all due respect, Senator, and the words you spoke are disturbing, especially coming out of your mouth is very disturbing. But what I would also tell you that we're not.
All right. I disagree with this guy, but that was great. You got to admit, that was good. He's another one of these sick perverts trying to justify letting kids have access to this stuff. Come on. But I got to give him, that was pretty good. That was a pretty good line. Okay. But yeah, I saw that clip earlier, and I was like, oh, my geez. Woo-wee. And then, okay, I think we're going to get ready and wrap her up here, folks. But yeah, I can't end on that one. That, as funny and as disturbing as that was. But again, if this topic doesn't drive the point home, no pun intended, that modern liberalism, it really is a mental disorder and it must be destroyed. If we cannot agree that young kids, even young people, this should not be in a public school. I am besides the idiot that keeps hitting the microphone, I didn't hit it as much tonight. You got to give me credit. Come on. Kind of getting used, like I said, this is the newer setup, trying to get a little fancy here with the swivel arm, but yeah, I'm a freedom guy and I'm a free speech guy. But like anything within reason, this should not be in a public school, should not be in a public library that can be accessed by young people. If you want to go and buy this book, that's your family's business. If you want to be a bunch of sick perverts, and that's coming from me. But yeah, no. We're not going to have this stuff in schools. We're not going to have it in public libraries. Not going to happen. I just look at the lady sitting right behind him. She's laughing. She's like, I can't believe this is a Senate hearing. But anyway. But yeah, again, I'm a freedom guy. I've always been, if you don't like it, don't buy it. If you don't like it, turn the channel. Now, I will say one last thing here before I go. That doesn't include, no, when I say that, can I just ask you, as a public service announcement, don't be a douche. Why do you think when you come out in public, you have to crank your stereo? Whether it's, the big thumping rap music or the bad 70s Leonard Skinner songs or the goofy, like a Limp Bizkit, whatever I don't even care. I don't go around jamming my Bach or my Mozart or my Beethoven. Again, when you come into the town, when you come into the public square, we should have a set of rules. They should start enforcing these public nuisance ordinances. I mean, if I'm a mile and a half away and your car is rattling my fillings, we got a problem, all right? Give me a break. But again, why do you feel compelled that I want to listen to your crappy music? Whatever it is. I don't care what. I just keep it to yourself. It's like this. If you want to go buy some porn, if you want to have 16 subscription or whatever, that's your business. But you got to keep it away from kids, man. That's all I'm saying. Because some of these people are advocating for this, hey, it's all free, baby. Hey, the 60's over, thank God. And this, again, you should never paint with such a broad brush. But right now, I got a big 90-gallon drum of paint and a 6-foot wide brush, and I'm going to use it. When these baby boomers go, God help us. But the thing is, they had kids. Now their kids had kids. Oh, it's not going to be easy, folks. The most self-absorbed, narcissistic generation in the history of man. They have infected this country and helped to all but destroy it. Modern liberalism, look into it. It must be destroyed at the ballot box. At the ballot box. All right, now, again, after that very disturbing testimony by Senator Kennedy, boy, Yeah, see? This is the kind of stuff you got to be really, really careful with. You can't joke too much about it. But anyway, wow. Fred, stop laughing. You're going to make me laugh even more. But what I'm going to do is prevent. See, I'm totally messed up now. But, oh, thank you, Fred. Thank you. All right, folks, we're going to go. See, but it's not, Fred, that's the thing. It's not smooth. Well, I know. I'll have to practice it. But anyway. All right, folks. I got to think of a good segue. No? Just do it? Okay. Well, anyway, we're about done. I didn't want to leave you with that story because it is very disturbing. So again, here we're all about health, personal responsibility, and that includes taking care of yourself, mental well-being, your physical health, your spiritual health. And I got a couple comments from the other night, a video I showed. And folks, I'm going to be honest with you. I love my wife with all my heart. You're going to get sick of hearing me say that, but it's true. But let me tell you something. I ain't dead yet. And I'd never cheat on that lady. I got to say this because I got a few comments. And here's the deal on that. Don't send me private comments. As you can see on the screen there, that's why I put that there. Effing like, and you've got to like. Please like and subscribe / follow. Here on Rumble, it's follow. But comment, chat, hit me in the chat here. Or leave a comment on one of the videos. It doesn't do any good to send me a private message. Okay? I mean, I do read them, but it helps when you publicly put something in the chat or, leave a comment. Hey, Sammy, you're looking good, man. I love the hair. How did you get to be so effing funny? That kind of stuff. Please don't be mean. With all that being said, let's get over here. Oh, yeah, I was just trying to set that clip up, wasn't I? And that is, I ain't dead yet. So, some of you prudes, like I said, if you don't want to watch, it's fine, but I'm going to watch. If you got any kids in the room, again, it's 12 at night, 1 o'clock, depending on which time zone I'm on. I got to reset this time on the computer. But anyway, the point being, it's 12, it's 1, it's 2. What time is it? Like 3:18, 4:18? I don't even know, Fred. But whatever time it is, it's late. And if you got a kid up this late watching this fool, you're, as my neighbor used to say growing up, Sammy, you just acting foolish. Son, you just foolish. Why you act like such a fool? Because I ain't got no sense, you dumb bit. No, I didn't say that to her. She's a nice lady. But if there comes a day I can't look at a pretty girl in a bikini, put a bullet in my head, Jack. Put a bullet in my head. Because I'm going to admire the good Lord's handiwork. Because he is the greatest engineer. And this is proof of it. I give you the beautiful, the lovely Miss Scarlett Chase. And as always, we send this out to the great Don and Bernie. Let's put a little hope in your rope. Let's go out with a little hope in a rope. Here we go, folks. That's hell am I? Oh my goodness. That just ain't right, man. Oh, we can't do another one of those. I don't think my heart could take that. All right, there you go. Oh my goodness. If I don't put some hope in your rope, I said, if they don't put some hope in your rope, Fred's even up. I think Fred was in there dancing. Again, go show, that's the lovely Miss Scarlett Chase at Scarlett Chase. Go check her out. And don't be a weirdo pervert. Act like you got some sense. Seriously, go over there, subscribe, do whatever you all do, but lovely, beautiful young lady. There's nothing wrong with looking, folks. Don't be one of these puritanical whack jobs. Because let's be honest, we all know what's going on. You'll sit here and denounce a lovely young lady like this, and then you'll go home, tie your husband up, and beat him with a fucking plastic soup ladle. Let's just be honest. We know the game, okay? It's 2023. We know what's going on. But anyway, let's move on. And as always, this might be a little awkward, but hey, we can have a little fun. We can look at some pretty ladies. It's all good. Because at the end of the day, please remember to love the Lord with all your heart and to love one another. And until next time, go!
Samuel Timothy Davis has left the stage.